We're now getting some other updates also coming in. We're understanding the procedure of the post-mortem has now started. The deceased body has been taken for an X-ray. Remember, this was ordered by the Madras High Court yesterday. The family also wanted another autopsy because they felt that there was foul play and the entire truth wasn't out. Yesterday, what we had heard from the Madras High Court that the father and the lawyer can be present when this autopsy takes place, the second post-mortem. And crucially, this entire process now needs to be videographed as well. We now understanding that the body now has been taken for X-ray. Remember, this unfortunate case which came from Kallakurichi had resulted in violent protests and vandalism that we saw over the weekend as well. My colleague Ritu is now joining us with more details. Ritu, the family still claims that there is some sort of foul play that took place. The entire truth is not out. Speaking about how crucial the second autopsy is going to be, talk to us about the entire procedure that's going to follow from here on. We're now understanding the body, in fact, has been taken for an X-ray.
Yes, now the family who had demanded for the second autopsy is not present at the hospital despite the district collector's office, in fact, trying to reach out to the family, and they've been trying to reach out to the family from since morning, but none of them are responding to their calls. All of their phones are all either switch off or either not reachable. So the police say us that also our resources are also saying us that the family is not in fact trying to cooperate with the police, and it has been difficult for the state government also to handle this case. Is something that we are learning on ground, but meanwhile the procedure of the second post-mortem in fact has already started here. Now I'll show you the visual where I am is just right behind me is the hospital there where this whole procedure is taking place. So here on the first side that you're getting this visual is the hospital where the body was kept for all these days, and also on the left hand side is the place where the X-ray is taking place now to understand what are the kind of injuries that the body had. So the second autopsy has already started without the parents because the district administration in fact tried reaching out to the family as they aren't responding. Also the collector of this district also said that it's a tentative time for them as well because they are trying to reach out to the family members, but they aren't responding. So of course without the presence of the family they will have to start the second autopsy as well now. But what we have to wait and watch is that now what will be the next, because the family has not reached here to the hospital, but also on the other side you see at the native of this particular deceased girl, the procedure of the last rites have already started. Also the relatives of the deceased girls are saying that the family has left to the hospital in the morning itself, but you see it's already the afternoon, but you don't see the parents here at the hospital. The police is finding it difficult to reach out to the parents who are not responding. In fact, we are also trying to reach out to the family members to understand what is exactly happening, when will they arrive, and how will the procedure start as well, because that has been their primary demand that they had made it to the Madras High Court as well, despite the investigation was on, and the police had also assured the family members that in the investigation that is ongoing they will identify what exactly went wrong. But that was the primary demand of the family, that there was a foul play in this particular death and there is lot to the death of their daughter. That was the primary demand now, but what is in fact a shocking thing that we are seeing is that the family has not turned out to the hospital despite this being their first demand and also moving to the Supreme Court. So that's another major point and the biggest point. With all that being a primary demand, they haven't turned out to the hospital.
Okay, so this is a crucial point that you're pointing out, that the parents are actually not present when the second autopsy is taken place. Ritu, I'll request you to stay on with us. Our colleague Purnima Murli is also now joining us on the broadcast. Purnima, there's a lot of pressure as far as what were the lapses on the ground and why there was a delay as far as the action that was taken. If specifically there were two teachers that were mentioned by this deceased student, because now we've accessed the suicide note, the math and the chemistry teacher, the arrests happened only yesterday. What is the state government now assuring the family and others?
Well, Tamil Nadu Chief Minister maintains that those who are responsible for the suicide of the 12th grade students, those will be arrested, and the arrests were made earlier yesterday. But now the state government is focusing on trying to identify the protesters who indulged in violence and damaged all the buses, police vehicles, and also the school premises. Therefore, that is the priority. More than 200 have been arrested, but the Madras High Court has asked the Tamil Nadu government to form special teams to identify those who provocated the entire episode that panned out on Sunday violence. However, at the moment, it's the family that's claiming foul play, and they also want an autopsy report that will bring out the truth. The family, especially the mother speaking to News 18 Tamil Nadu reporter, had said that there were multiple injury marks and the timing of the death mentioned in the autopsy report is not correct, and therefore they wanted another autopsy report. While the Madras High Court has in fact helped them with the second post-mortem report and also appointed a team of doctors, they are not convinced. They now want to ensure that the doctors of their choice, they conduct the post-mortem. However, with the Supreme Court listing the case for tomorrow and with the High Court also now asking the police officials to go ahead with the second post-mortem report in the presence of family members, the family members refuse to come because they want the doctors chosen by them. The post-mortem report is now, the post-mortem is currently underway. We'll have to wait and see what the family will do, because the Madras High Court clearly said that they should collect the body and conduct the last rites after the second post-mortem is done and not create trouble. But now, looking at the way things are panning out, the family is refusing to enter the hospital or even participate in the post-mortem. That's what the family says, and they are now trying to ensure that they wait for the Supreme Court case tomorrow and they refuse to collect the body. So we'll have to wait and see whether there will be any further developments with regard to the Madras High Court, because the judge had anticipated that this could happen, which is why yesterday said that they shouldn't create trouble. But at the moment, looks like the development will continue for the next 24 hours at least.
Poornama and Ritu, thanks a lot for getting us all those details.